the Happy Hour podcast with your host, Joel Fleischman.
Hello, welcome to Joel Fleischman's Happy Hour, episode number 27. I've got some wonderful special guests that requested to be on. This is maybe the first time, one of the first times that we had a request to be on, and we have a second guest. Go ahead, fellas, introduce yourselves.
Go ahead.
Jordan Mixon. Try to go deeper.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, unless everybody knows who you are. When you're not LeBron James, you might go a little deeper.
I wish. I'm Jordan Mixon. I go to Kewaskum High School. I'm a senior this year. And Trent?
All right, I'm Trent and Riekkoff. Go to Kewaskum High School. I'm a senior as well.
All right, and if you, awesome. Welcome on, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I don't know what audience we're going to get to, so we're just going to talk and we'll see who hits it
It's
up.
going to be a popular one at school.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting.
Overturn thinks it's going to be a popular one at school, but he thinks he's popular at school. So, you know, you got to do who you got. You got to be you, right, Holden? So, give you credit. All right, let's have a little Blue Door soda here, fellas. Is it turn?
Yeah.
For the strong guys, that turns it. Old guys got to use the bottle. But all right, cheers, guys. Thanks for coming on. Got some blue juice here. Got some Ripper. Your first time doing the Blue Door soda?
Good stuff.
That's really good.
You have everything like that before?
Um,
Little props, blue juice.
That cream soda's
Try to
good.
take a swirl.
try that.
Sure.
Try that. That's good.
That's some.
I think you should have got the cream soda in here too. to try
Yeah, the
them all.
cream's really good.
Yeah.
The cream's excellent.
Cream soda's my
What do
favorite.
you think with the blue juice?
I like it.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, root beer's good
Root
though.
beer's good though.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it, for sure.
Classic.
Blue Dew soda.
Can't go wrong.
Nope. Little supply happiness in every little sip.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so guys, a little bit backstory. Jordan, you and I have never met. Crazy
No,
enough.
Not at all.
And you've been to Kewaskum.
I've been here since 7th grade.
I've never seen you.
Yeah, I fly on the radar sometimes.
Yeah, is that the way you like it?
Yeah.
You kind of got a softer voice.
Maybe.
What do you specialize in? Like, what's your thing?
Me? I wrestled all 4 years of high school.
Yeah.
I would say I was decent.
Yeah.
Not the best. Not
Awesome.
the worst.
I'm not a wrestling guy. That's why I didn't see you play or wrestle.
Yeah.
Played? You say played? Wrestle?
Wrestle.
Just
Yeah.
wrestle. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
What are you gonna do when you grow up? What are you doing after school?
I'm going to MATC, Milwaukee Area Technical College for biomedical technician.
Biomedical technician.
Yes. It's basically fix medical equipment like X-rays,
Yeah.
sonogram machines.
You like that stuff, or it just pays a lot, or it just sounds cool?
I like it.
Yes,
I,
yes, and yes.
I like it. My mom and my grandmother, both my grandmothers are all nurses. So
Okay.
I always had this head towards the medical field, and growing up, technology.
Yeah. So that's kind of a thing.
Yeah, so it's
That's
like
cool.
one of those niches.
Yeah. So all you really do is unplug IV machines and then reboot them and get paid a lot, and it sounds cool. All right. Well, good luck. That sounds cool. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Trent.
Next year, I'm going.
No. Tell me who you are. Yeah, he thinks he's LeBron James when he
My
comes
bad.
on. He does.
My
Like,
fault.
everybody knows Trent.
My fault.
I know, right? For sure.
So, I play football at Kewaskum. I play for since 5th grade.
What grade you in?
I'm a senior
Okay.
this year. So, well, next year.
And you were on with me. You're one of the only time returning guests. You were on with me and Coach Pitt.
Yep. That was a long time ago already, though.
That 2 years ago? No, last
it was,
year.
It was last. What was
Right
it?
before the
It was
season
like-
started.
Yeah.
It was August, wasn't it?
Right,
Yeah,
right before
well,
the season started.
That's because we found out that football wasn't starting until September, like right when I came on.
Right.
So that sounds right because it was August.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
so
were
it's
sitting
late
in like
July,
in a
August.
conference room, and Pittman was like on a speakerphone.
Yeah, and like
It was horrible.
The camera was not so hot.
Sketch.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey,
Now
it's
you're
all
prime
right.
time. Now we got like makeup people. We got the studio.
You gotta crawl before you can walk.
Yep. Holden's got like
His own
bling
mic.
on, and he's got like his own thing. He's gonna have his own camera soon.
Really?
No, never. We hope. Hope never. All right, so Trenton, you reached out to Holden, I think, first, right?
No, I reached out to you first.
Me first,
actually.
right? He's like, bring me back on. I got something to say. I'm like, hey man, you can't just walk in the studio. And then, so I'm like, what's going on? And he said, my perception, if I can talk for you.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
He's like, my perception's changed a little bit. You brought me on. It's kind of been bugging me, I think. You brought me on and you asked me, hey, Black Lives Matter was really hot then. Obviously, that's cooled off. I mean, just the words, not
No, it's not.
not the fight, right?
Exactly. No.
But that's cooled off. But it's like, hey, I said some things that I don't regret, but my opinion has changed. And especially at your guys' ages, 17, 18 years old, yeah, opinions do change quick, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you're 47, opinions change too. We're always learning,
Yep.
right? Like, so to be wise, I just learned this. To have wisdom and be knowledgeable is simply that I am relearning the things I thought I knew,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
right? So it isn't that we ever know anything. We just keep relearning what we thought we knew.
Yeah.
So I think there's things you thought you knew
But I
about
didn't.
racism, or about what it's like to be a black guy, or growing up, or how you're treated, or how you're acted, or perception, that you thought you knew when you were maybe a junior. Now you're a senior and like, oh, I see things differently.
Most definitely.
And you brought Jordan on because you feel the same.
Yeah, definitely. Me and Trent, we clicked up together as soon as I got to middle school. Really,
Right.
we've always had this connection, and me and him come from different backgrounds.
Now, where do you come from? Because you came to Kewaskum in 7th grade.
Yes, correct.
So where are you from?
Born and raised in Chicago.
Yes.
Moved a little bit. I lived in Cali for a year, and then after that, I moved here.
How did you end up in Kewaskum, town of 5,000 people we're up to, right?
Yeah.
Town of 5,000 people,
Growing.
rural Wisconsin.
It was really just opportunity for my mom, better job, we decided where we were, type
Yeah.
of thing.
Did you just like Google it or something?
No, she got we have family in Milwaukee.
Okay,
area,
all right.
And, so they spoke up to her, told her.
You got brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have one little brother.
One older brother.
Yeah.
No dad?
My dad, vet Marines. He still lives in California. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did you know him growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him every summer, basically.
Yeah, yeah. So hang out with them a bit.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Hope that doesn't.
No, you're fine, man.
Just gotta get your backstory a little bit.
Yeah, you're good.
I gotta get your backstory before we go forward, right?
Yeah.
And your backstory?
Well, I was born in Milwaukee. I lived there for, I don't remember it obviously, but I lived there for 5 months with my mom and my dad. And then when I was 5 months old, my mom left my dad and came back here to live with my grandparents. And ever since then, I've lived in Kewaskum. But I still went down there for about 5-6 years to visit my dad. It was every other week I was down with my dad, and I'd stay there for 3-4 days. And then my dad got killed when I was 5. I was about to turn 6. It was,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, it's all right. But it was February 17th, 2009 that it happened. So I was in kindergarten. I still remember it. I was sitting on
Of
the
course.
floor, and the teacher got called telling them that I had to leave. My mom picked me up. My mom
Yeah.
sat me down on my bed when I got home. She
Oof.
told me what happened. I still remember everything.
The worst, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
But,
that's just like stamped right in your brain. Like
yeah.
that's it, that time of day, right?
Yeah, but after that, I went to Farmington Elementary, obviously the middle school and the high school. So ever since then, I'm just
Right.
like Kewaskum. I mean, I go down. I don't really have like any family here anymore. I had an uncle who lives in Milwaukee, and my grandma who used to live in Milwaukee. She just moved to California as of recently because she actually got diagnosed with dementia. So she's going to live with most of my family that's out
Right.
in California. So now I'm kind of just here. I mean, I had a cousin too in Milwaukee that cut my hair.
Right.
He moved to
But now you're just
California.
adopted family.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
So he's in California.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, it's me and my mom,
Yeah.
and then the rest of my family. So
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So 7th grade, you guys hooked up?
Yeah, and it was. I still remember it though, because it was the first day, and I mean, it was me, and I think there was only like one other black kid in my
So it was the
class.
color of your skin that brought you together?
I mean, I'll be straight up. It's just kind of like a connection.
Yeah, no, like,
especially here, you know. there's
yeah,
not-
but I think, you know, sometimes if you're both 6'9", it's the connection too, though, right? Like, it's not only because of the color of your skin,
Yeah.
it's just, like, there's just some reality to that too.
For
Like,
sure.
again, if you just have red hair and dimples, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're both cognitively disabled, or if you both had one arm, like,
Yep.
there's just a connection. And I'm not saying that every one of those things is like a handicap.
No, exactly.
It's a difference. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's a handicap, so I don't want to take it that way,
Yeah.
right? So just like, hey, maybe we should hang out.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it wasn't like.
Did you come from a diverse school?
Me, majority black.
Yeah.
Latino.
So were you like, what in the world?
Yeah, moving here is a big culture shock.
Did you know?
I got a hint, and then first day of school, I'm just like, wow, I'm really the only colored person here.
Yeah. Now looking back, did you have, I hate to call it reverse racism, that sounds horrible, but did you have a perception of white people that maybe wasn't true?
No, because at that point, I won't say I was sheltered towards anything, but I didn't experience anything.
Right, but what was your perception?
It was just,
I mean, was your perception like these people are going to hate me, or I'm really different, or was it like,
because growing up, when I was moved around, I was always exposed to different stuff.
Mhm.
When I lived in California, large Latino community,
Right.
stuff like that. So it wasn't like my first time just jumping into
Right.
something. So I took it open ears.
but you knew it was different?
But I knew it was like
Right.
different. Yeah.
Right. And you were like, oh, there's a dude.
Yeah, no, I remember I was hyped. I was
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I introduced myself. We were cool.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've been chill. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And what are you going to school for? I don't think I even let you finish.
I'm going to Oshkosh. I'll be playing football, and I'm gonna be going for business marketing.
You made it. You're
Yeah.
playing football.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked. His goal was to play football in college, and here you are. Running back or something?
I wish.
Get
I
to
wish.
touch that ball?
I wish. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. You gotta slim down a little bit.
It's so much work playing college sports. You'll find out. I have a lot of friends that play college sports, and
I'm excited.
best of luck to you.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
it's
No, thank you.
tons of work.
Yeah.
Tony Steger.
Yep. I talk to him almost every day.
Yeah, he's coming to work at Try.
Yeah, I heard.
Shout out to my wife. Shout out to Tony.
I found that out right before I walked in.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe he'll train you up.
We'll see. I hope so. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun, for sure. I like that stuff too. That's cool.
Definitely.
And you going to school for what? Not football. Don't say football. That's not great. That's
I'm going for business marketing.
business marketing. Oh, you'll be good at that.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be selling IV machines he's plugging back in.
Yeah.
See what I did there, Holden?
Yes.
That is a good podcast guy right there. That's good. That's good. I don't even get paid for that. Okay, so you guys came to me. You said I got some things that changed. Do you have a specific event that changed, or was it more of an awareness, or both?
I guess I'll just kind of go first because I was kind of the one that reached out. But so I remember coming back, or not coming back. I remember coming out here last year, obviously, and that was kind of like when the whole George Floyd thing had just really happened. And
Which is crazy dynamics, right? Because now trial's not over yet, right?
and then a bunch of other stuff happened too after that.
Oh,
Not only George
every
Floyd,
day, every day.
exactly. And it's something in Minnesota too. I don't
Every day.
Yep.
Every day. I think it's, again, I'm not black, and I'm not trying to be black on this episode. I hope it doesn't come across that way, but every day. Every day. I mean, watch Milwaukee, watch Chicago. I'm the anti-COVID guy. Man, more people are shot in Chicago than die of COVID in Illinois. Same almost in Milwaukee.
But they don't talk about that.
No, we don't talk about that. The last people going back to school are the MPS kids, predominantly black.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. They're still not back in school.
No.
They lost a whole year. Good luck.
Nobody cares.
They don't.
And it's sad because a lot of those kids, like, just look at the backgrounds that they come from.
Yeah.
And the fact that some of them probably don't even have meals that night, right?
They don't have Wi-Fi, so they ain't logging on,
Exactly. So then, but then they're expected.
and they have no structure.
Yep. Go back to school, be fine, leave school, go to college. That's what they're expected to do. But you look at stuff like that, and it's like,
Yeah.
how can you expect a kid to,
And I think you guys are going to get into it, which is like mind blowing. I don't think it's overtly racist. Like overtly, like we're not
no.
talking Jackson, Mississippi,
Oh, absolutely not.
but it's the subtle stuff.
Yeah.
Like, so if it isn't racist, then what is it, right? Like, you kind of start running out of answers.
There's no. I will say this before we even get into anything: the lack of
I
education.
think we're already into something.
Yeah. Before we get into like
specifics.
Yeah. So before we get super deep in
I feel we're already like we're waist deep. I'm on the other soda.
But I think the lack of, I should say, black history at our school is one of the main reasons that this kind of stuff happens. because I guess seeing, you know, what other schools do, like you just kind of see like they'll have full lessons about stuff. You'll see, you know, maybe even like the morning announcements, they'll read a quote from a black figure that was, you know, obviously did something incredible.
That's not Michael Jordan. That's not like a sports
Exactly.
dude.
Like
a dude.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't have anything like that. I think the only thing this year, I mean, I don't know if you guys can attest to it, but this past year was the first time I really noticed that there was more than just a, you know, Black History Month poster walking in the door.
Yeah.
And there was those posters on all the teachers' doors, and some teachers still have them up. There was Black History Month on the TV. There was a huge poster with the girl that spoke at the inauguration. I forgot what her name was.
The one who read that poem?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she's
Yeah.
like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Big poster of her with, it was handmade too, big speech bubbles, whatever you want to call it, with some quote in there.
Right.
And, you know, it was just, we actually acknowledged Martin Luther King Jr. on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. But that's when we did that, that's when a lot of stuff for me started to happen, as far as me starting to pick up on stuff.
Go ahead. Let's do it.
So on MLK Day, I was sitting in ELT, and
That means you're like first hour study hall, right?
yeah, morning 30, so you get 30 minutes before
Yeah.
school just to
See, I know what's going on,
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there, and Mr. Steers on the announcements, whatever, talking, and he says,
Amanda Gorman.
"That's the girl."
Yep.
So we started talking about
Picture of her on the screen would have been better, but next time. We got it next time.
Martin Luther King Jr. started talking about him, and then Mr. Steers said, "Happy MLK Day," and somebody had made a comment. Like I said, I'm not going to say any names. In
Yeah,
this.
yeah, no, that's appreciated.
Yeah. So
And naive's not the right word. Racist might not be the right word. I don't know if you guys have the right word. Unaware. Yeah.
Uneducated, and
Yeah,
unaware.
yeah,
are the
right.
two main-
Which it's somewhat naive, but naive almost gives a person too much credit. Yeah, it's tough. But
And
go
I-
ahead, say it.
and
I'm sorry,
well,
I interrupted you.
Another thing to add on to that, though, is I think kids get too comfortable around, you know, colored, African American, Hispanic, whatever you want to say.
Right.
Kids get too comfortable around them, so they think that they can just act like however they want. So I mean, I'll be straight up with you. A lot of people who I used to, you know, be affiliated with, friends-wise, they just throw the N-word around like it's nothing. And it's not always, you know, the N-word with the A. A lot of the times it's the N-word with the hard R. And it's just like, I couldn't do anything. Like, I felt like I couldn't do anything because of the fact that I felt outnumbered.
Right.
So
Or you're supposed to be their friend, so you just giggle
So,
along and go, yeah, it's cool.
Or I just wouldn't laugh.
Right,
And I
right.
would, you know,
Keep it to yourself.
yeah, or like pull the phone out,
Yeah.
sit on it, right? Act like that's.
Act like it's
nothing's
okay,
going-
because you didn't know how to address it. Either
Yep.
you weren't mature enough or not empowered, felt not empowered
Yep.
enough.
So I guess I'll backtrack now.
I mean, I think we said that at the last podcast.
That-
Like, one of my things is the little stuff, which I don't know if Jordan even listened, was, because I think it's warranted to say now, it's like, dude, you're like the whitest black guy I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a
You
compliment.
don't say that to somebody.
But the person saying it thinks we're friends, and I'm saying it as like, he's my dad. I think what they're trying to say is, I don't relate to him by the color of your skin. What comes across is something totally different.
Yeah.
Like, I could have saw myself saying that when I was 18, to a guy with a deeper, darker colored skin,
Yeah.
as I like to say. Like, I could see myself saying that when I was 18, thinking I'm saying it like, no, you're my buddy.
Yep.
I don't see you as a color. You know, I don't see that you have different colored skin. We're just friends.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
That's her.
That's her, yeah.
Yeah, that's the girl that was on the
Okay.
poster at school.
There you go.
So
He's trying to get better at it, so he's test piling it. But does that make sense? Like, we're talking deep subjects, and then he's like blowing up the screen. That's okay. That's okay. We gotta have a little fun too. So, does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
call me out if I'm saying this wrong. Like I
No,
said, Jordan,
no,
I'm the
you got
whitest guy in the world. So
got
I'm not trying to talk for you. Okay.
No, you got everything right.
All right.
But yeah, so I'll backtrack a little bit. So like I said, we were talking about Mr. Stewart said Happy MLK Day.
Yeah.
And And the kid had made a comment. He just said, you know, how come like we don't have off? Excuse me, Jesus. We're up here. It's good. Though.
Wow.
Hey, it's good. That's a
That gets you a
compliment.
pass.
That's
Okay.
that's a compliment. That's a compliment. Nah. But there's a kid that had made a comment, and he said, you know, like, why don't we have off school today, right? Like the MPS schools have off school. My dad has off of work.
Right.
Like, how come we don't have off school? And then I got another kid that says because we don't praise black people. And I was just like what?
You're like, okay.
I was like
we're doing this.
And I didn't say anything.
Right.
Because again, I still thought, what am I gonna say? I'm the only black kid in the room. What am I gonna say?
Right. And you have to be prepared to say something. Like you just can't say that's not right. Because you say, well, why not?
Yep.
So it's hard. I would expect it's hard to say something.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I sat there and I didn't say anything.
If you could go back, what would you say?
I just asked him, why do you, like, what, my question would be, what does Martin Luther King Jr. Day have to do with praising a black person?
Yeah.
What would you say, Jordan?
Not far from it, honestly, because MLK did a lot more than just what he's known for and what people talk about.
And it wasn't, no, my phone keep going.
He brought up our people and like tried and I won't say he tried, he did bring awareness to a lot of the stuff we've been struggling through.
Yeah.
And brought it to the big picture.
And died for it.
people.
And kind of knew he was going to die for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going down with this.
He put his whole heart into it.
Yeah.
But, like, just for that commitment, not just because it was just black people, just like that commitment to something is something to respect.
Yeah.
Because any person could do that.
Exactly.
That sounds
Yeah.
great. That's great. That was good.
And it literally, I think what he did was greater than just, it was more than just for black people, like Jordan said. It was for everybody.
Right.
I mean, if you listen to I Have a Dream speech, he says black kids and white kids. He's not talking about just black people. He's talking about everybody. But just because of the color of his skin and the lack of education that is in Kewaskum, everybody's just like, well, we don't praise black people, so who cares?
Right. And
But
see, I would say it as a dad, right, which comes across the wrong way maybe to my children. Like, I don't think we should have off of school for it either, or off of work for it either. But only because I don't think that's the way, that them are reasons to have off of school.
Yeah.
I think it's a great conversation. I'm glad he has his day, but that is a great way to expand awareness and conversation.
Definitely.
And simply having off a day and being like, sweet,
Just
MLK
kinda like,
Day,
that's
like
all I
that's
think
completely
about.
worthless to me. So again, I might come home and I'm eating dinner and being like, dude, why does MPS off today? And why can't I get my mail, right? And my son's in 3rd grade, you know, and he twisted it.
He just takes his free day.
Yep.
I can sit at home.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's what I said at home. I didn't say anything about that he was black, but he may end up having that perception. That's what the mom and dad think.
Yep.
So that's where it gets kind of weird and unawareness and confusion when you don't explore the topics deeper.
Yeah. And kind of just back to that story, then we, you know, the topic just kind of like got brought up again later on in that morning 30, and the same kid that said we don't praise black people called me out and said, hey Trent, that's your black leader. And I'm like, I was confused. Like I wasn't even saying anything. I was minding my own business. I was just on the computer.
You're just like,
I don't know what I can't remember what I was doing.
Right,
but I'm
right.
just like, what?
yeah,
And I just looked at him and I just shook my head because
Yeah.
again, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
Especially because that was so random.
which actually might have been the best thing to do, honestly,
Yeah.
in that situation, right?
Exactly. But then I guess to continue on, just some
Maybe it wasn't, but
no.
of the 100 options,
that's the
it's
safest
one of the better ones. It's one of the better ones. Probably wasn't the best. There's probably things you could have said or did, but
But at
it's
the
a
time,
safest play.
it's
That's the good way to say it.
It's the best way.
Oh, it's neutral play.
Yeah, it's the best way to go about something.
Maybe, yeah.
At that
Yeah,
moment,
right.
that's what
Right.
I felt the safest for myself. Not like not that I thought something was going to happen to
Right.
me, but from starting an argument, I felt like the best thing for me to do was just stay quiet.
Yeah, because you weren't going to win that argument. It
No.
wasn't going to go anywhere.
Absolutely not.
It's just emotions are just going to get raised
Exactly.
up,
And I
and there's no closure. So then it's
Yeah.
just like awkward now, right?
Exactly. I mean, I remember there was one day, me and him, we were talking. Remember at lunch that one time?
Yeah.
And I was like, this was last year, wasn't it? Or the beginning of this year?
It was like December, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I would say November, December, and it would have been. I think it was like right when the inauguration happened. I think it was that day.
It's probably like January.
Yeah, so it was December, January, and we were just talking about politics, whatever, and I got mad because of how I thought my perception was. So me and him were like bantering back and forth, and like I said, I tell everybody that this dude right here knows his stuff. Like, if you're gonna argue with somebody, don't argue with this dude because he knows his stuff and he shut me up. And I don't like to lose an argument, and I'm being straight up with you, telling you he out-argued me and he knows his stuff.
He'll be a world-class bartender someday. Right? He'll just like debate both sides of it across the bar,
And
just to keep you there.
And I said, I snapped him that night.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I'm like, bro, like I was not trying to be disrespectful.
And most
at
people
lunch.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Especially in this school.
Yeah, exactly. So I snapped him. I said I was not trying to be disrespectful to you.
I don't think it's this school. I
general.
literally think
In
it's
general.
not easy to be 17 and 18 and have your communication skills put together and your maturity level to be the bigger person,
Yeah.
girl or a guy. That's just hard when you're 17 or 18. It's hard when you're 47, but it's really hard when you're just
A teenager.
hormonal teenager. You wish people had different perspectives, but
Yeah.
they'll get there. Some never will.
Yeah.
Some will. I got the other side of it now.
But yeah, so I snapped him, and I was just like,
That's Snapchat day for the oldies watching
My
this.
bad.
That doesn't mean you like snapped them with a towel.
I Snapchat. I texted.
That's
him, put it
okay.
that
That's
way.
okay. We got some oldies watch this,
So,
like me.
but no. So I texted him. I said, I meant no disrespect by what I was saying at lunch, and to be honest with you, I don't think I was educated on what I was saying either. At that time, I didn't know, and this was 4 or 5 months ago, and now I understand what I was saying. I sounded like an idiot. Right? But at that time, I thought, because like I said, I don't like to lose an argument, so
Right.
I'm like just gonna say whatever I want to try and win the argument.
And I would challenge you, heavy opinion people, just like we talked about. And because I was you guys, and I am that guy still. But remember, wisdom, what you think you know will always change. So don't always say, now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know more, or now what I think I know is better than I used to know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we ever know in this world,
That's
especially on the topics that we're talking about, right?
That's true, very true. Yeah. So I just apologized. I said I didn't mean any disrespect, and I was, like I said, I was brutally honest with him. I said, you know your stuff, and I respect you a lot for that. And I said, I know, like a lot of people, they say whatever comes to their mind, and that's what I did. But I was, like I said, I was straight up, and I said, I respect you for that, and we moved on. And it's coincidental because all this stuff that I wanted to talk about, it all happened in such a short period of time, and it changed my perception completely. It did a 180. My perception did. And like I said, we've moved on from there. Now we agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's really cool.
That's not a good thing, withholding.
Nah.
it's all right. It's all
I haven't found anything we agree on yet.
right. So, but yeah, I'm saying as far as like the social aspect, there's a lot of stuff. I'd say pretty much almost everything we agree on. I would say. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know, Jordan, if you want to hop in and just kind of say like an experience, because I got a couple more, but I don't want to take up
go
all the
ahead.
time. Yeah.
So my experience personally growing up here, it's been like, where I was growing up, it was like, quote unquote, the hood, whatever you want to call it, low income.
Where were you?
South side of Chicago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tough.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Makes Milwaukee look like Kewaskum.
yeah, basically. So growing up, I was growing up around a lot of black people, etc. All that. Trent was raised here, so he doesn't know much of that life at all. But when I came here, and the way I was growing up, I was growing up to like, I don't even know how to say it really, but
Take your time.
when I came here, I saw subtle racism stuff like, especially when I told everyone for Chicago, South Side of Chicago. I just said Chicago, and everyone was like, oh, the South Side, stuff like that, and like it's like that's just uneducated stuff because like growing up, it was bad, but like there's a lot of good people down there. Not everyone's gangbangers, etc. And it's just all this subtle stuff is really the stuff that adds up more than just someone being blatantly racist towards you. And just, I feel like the only thing really could do to help it all is just educate the young and let them know, hey, just because this person's different color, different background, whatever, they're the same as you. You guys are both people, you know. When I came here, there's plenty of other white people I get along with perfectly, you know, and like it's more than just the color of our skins. We get along, we same things we like,
Right.
stuff like that. So if you
You don't universally get along with the 12 black people in Kewaskum.
exactly
You like don't have a special club.
right,
Yeah.
it's just like
No, but I think sometimes people think that.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you must like him, right? Like you guys hang around with Diesel all the time. Like
Right.
no, we don't hang around with Diesel. Like yeah, you guys must hang around with Diesel.
right.
Like you know him because it's Kewaskum.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, I get what you're saying.
Shout out to Diesel. Sorry, if you're listening, buddy. Love you, man.
But yeah, basically, it's just a lot of if you educate them people young, and let them know that just because someone's different than you can treat them with the same respect you treat anyone else, really.
Yeah, and I think call it out a little bit too. Like, bro, that ain't right.
Exactly.
Right.
And
The N-word, a joke. You know, I've been in cars. I don't know if this ever happened to you guys. I have been in cars, and I'm ashamed to say it. Roll by, maybe in Brown Deer, maybe in Kewaskum, roll by somebody black, all of a sudden, click, click, door's locked.
yeah, and it's like
Has that happened to you?
it's like that. If I know Trent can speak on it definitely. If I was to walk into a grocery store, the first thing I see is like older people looking at me and like watching me closely.
Like assume that
Yeah.
you're gonna take a box of cereal.
Yeah, like they just watch me,
Yeah.
and it's like I walk past one, they grab their purse a little tighter than they normally would, and like
They grab what?
They grab their purse.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I wasn't gonna steal it today. Maybe tomorrow.
Right, and it's like, and you can. It's so hard.
You
to
feel
describe it. It's so hard to describe it, but you can like feel the eyes on you.
Yeah.
Any store you walk in, especially at West Bend, and like.
Can I share a quick story?
Yeah, go for it.
Right? Because so I was, I think I was 2021, and you know the band Green Day.
Yeah.
They used to dye their hair like the top. I used to have like spiked hair, like
You
Green
told
Day.
me
I
this.
did we do this already too?
I told you about my experience in the old Fleet Farm,
Yeah.
and then you talked about.
Is it warranted or not? It's a good conversation. Or
Yeah,
just,
yeah. Go
Man, it's like we're having the same conversation. I just go back to the same story. So Jordan doesn't know it, right?
No.
No.
Right, so I dyed my hair bright blonde. And I'll never forget, like I was in a grocery store a couple times, or I vividly remember being in a gas station, and all of a sudden this attendant's like following me around.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not like having black skin. I forgot I had dyed my hair, right? So I was just like, they want something? Like, did I drop my wallet? Like you said, you just feel it.
Yeah.
And also I'm like, oh, it's my hair. They think I'm gonna steal something.
Yeah.
And I can change my hair in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I totally laughed, but it really gave me an awareness
Yeah.
of like, this is how this is for people every day, or can be every day, right?
Yeah.
And that wears you down. How does that make you feel? Like, how does that beat you down? I know you guys are tough and resilient, you overcome it, but like, how does that make you feel sometimes?
Well, the first time that something like that happened to me, I cried. I'll be honest, because it never happened before. And I was 15, and it never. Because like I said, I was in Fleet Farm,
Right.
and it was raining, so I mean everybody's got their hoods up. I had my hood up, my hands in my pockets,
Right.
and every worker, and it was insane.
Right, but you were younger, like when you're younger, you're not intimidated, now you're like an adult age, so
Yeah.
so go ahead.
So I mean, I was, like I said, 15. I walked in Fleet Farm, and I hands in my pocket, hood up, and I swear every worker and every single customer that was getting checked out went like this, and just stared at me,
And scared.
looking at me, and they
Sca-
were like, their eyes,
skeptical or scared or
eyes were
whatever it
big.
was,
Like,
yeah.
They stopped with the guns that check people
Yeah.
out that scan stuff. They stopped, and I took my hands out of my pockets, and I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah,
I was
right. You're like,
I'm looking at all these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Took my hood off, took my hands out of my pockets, and I did this,
Yeah.
and they all went, and they went back to what they were doing.
No,
Yeah.
you're lying.
No, I'm dead serious.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, and I walked in with a white kid,
Yeah.
so it wasn't like I was just walking in.
Yeah, but either
right?
way.
Either way, but yeah, exactly. But I'm just like, what? I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So like I said, that night I went home and I cried. I didn't know what
Yeah.
to do.
What do you do now? I mean, you guys are getting older, you're getting tougher. I mean, it's so easy to be aggressive, right? It's so easy to lash out.
It is, but I just around.
Go ahead, Jordan.
It takes something in you not to just snap sometimes, really.
Right.
It takes, my great grandmother, she was part of the Great Migration North from Mississippi, and she instilled in me that you gotta be strong for you, your mom, anyone around you. So,
Yeah.
for
And
you
she
to-
came through the storm. I mean,
Exactly.
hell.
And for you to break, you're breaking for everyone that you're that wall for.
Right.
And I know Trent, it's just him and his mom, so he is that wall. For me, it's just me, my mom, my little brother, so I am that wall.
Right.
So if I break, lash out.
Everybody's gonna break.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And I gotta keep that for me. I gotta keep that for my family.
But it's a lot to bottle.
It is. And
You gotta
like,
do it though.
yeah, I mean, there's no other thing. It's either you do it or you end up in the slums, and so
Yeah.
that's how I take it. I take it one step at a time. You just gotta be a bigger person.
Whew.
I just-
Other things that happened at school that you want to talk about? You want to read that letter you wrote, or don't you? Are you good?
I
I think we got through it. most
yeah,
of it.
we're
Right,
yeah.
you got-
'cause
hit
a
the-
lot,
hit the
a
good
lot
points?
of the, yeah, because I mean the
So you wrote a letter,
I
just
did.
so awareness. We don't have to read it. You wrote a
Yeah.
letter to the staff.
I did. I wrote like it was more or less like a kind of like an outline of a speech almost.
Yeah, yeah. Your thoughts, bullet points.
Yep. And the main thing that I wanted to get across was how much subtle racism that there is at school, because a lot of the teachers even don't know.
Yeah.
They don't see what goes on in the hallways, because a lot of stuff, it happens in the hallways. It doesn't just happen, in a classroom.
Yeah, somebody's not raising their hand and making us
Yeah. So
stupid comment.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, it was just I remember one of the things that really kind of like set me off. I was just like walking down the hallway, and again, I'm not gonna say names. A kid was like, "Hey, you want some N-word with the hard R candy?" And he said, "Hey, Trent." And I'm like, "What?" Like I thought I misheard him.
Yeah, you're like, you said licorice.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right?
So
Like,
I'm
I
like-
know I didn't hear what I thought I heard. Like,
So I'm like, what?
yeah.
And he said, "You want some N-word?"
Like
with
there
the
was
hard
no,
R
like there
candy?"
was no other name
Yeah,
for it, like
and
in
I
his
was-
world.
And I looked at him, and I'm like, "Bro, like, what is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
That's what this is like.
Yeah.
This is when I started to get mad.
Right,
And I'm like, "What's wrong with you?"
right.
And he's like, "What? They're brown." And I'm like, I don't even know if that's what he said. Whatever.
Yeah,
it
you're, at
was-
that
it-
point, you're like just.
like it was, I don't even know what
It's
he
hard to
said.
control your thoughts
Yeah,
at that
because
point.
like I said, I don't even remember what he said. He
Right.
probably didn't even say that, but whatever. I'm just like, what? I
He
said,
still
how-
didn't know why you were mad.
Yeah,
He's like, "Why are you
yeah.
mad?"
So I'm like, how does that give you the right to
Yeah.
say that?
Right.
And he's like, well, I don't know. And then everybody's laughing around him too. I'm like, I'm like, how do you guys think this is funny? Like, I'm not laughing.
Right, right.
And they just walked away. I kid you not, 2 days later, same exact kid goes, "Hey Trent, you want some N-word with the hard R balls?" And I said, "What?" And this is when I started to get mad.
Yeah, you're like, we already did
yeah,
this.
and-
I'll give you one chance to be like, you're a moron.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna happen.
And he's just like, he said it to me again. And this
Right.
time a teacher heard him say it.
Yeah.
And she said, "Hey, don't say that," walked away.
Which again is like,
Yeah, and
Minimizing it.
Come to find out, it bothered her for like the next week. I had a conversation
she
with
didn't-
her because she didn't know what to
she
do.
didn't escalate it.
Yep, so she didn't know what to do. So everything with that teacher is cool. We're all good now.
Right.
But I was like, all right, like I'm done with this. Like and I freaked out and I got
Right.
mad.
Right.
And everybody's laughing then.
Right.
And, like everybody's laughing down the hallway. That's
Right,
in this little
right,
clique right there.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, bro, don't say you're sorry if you don't mean it.
Right,
I'm
right.
not laughing.
Right.
Like,
right.
it's not a joke. I'm not laughing. Oh, I'm sorry though. I'm like, no, you're not, bro. I mean, just get away from. Don't talk to me.
Right.
If this is all. If
But
that's
everyone that knows you, I mean, I barely know you, and I know I could probably call you and have a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I know I could say, I'm sorry, and you're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yes, I am. I want to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
I know you good enough.
Yeah.
The little I know, you'd be like, absolutely. I'll talk. Okay, no, okay, I'll get you.
Yeah. So I mean, I was like, bro, no, you're not. I'm like, don't. I was like, just stay away from me. Don't talk to me. If that's all you are going to say to me,
Right.
don't even bother opening your mouth around me. I don't
Right.
want to hear it. And came up to me again, apologized, whatever. And he was away from everybody else. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is a little bit, more sincere. And I'm like, okay, I understand you're sorry, bro, but I'm like, I don't want to hear it again out of your mouth.
Right.
I don't want to hear you say it.
Right.
I don't want to hear of you saying it. I don't want to see you write
Right,
it. I don't,
right.
nothing. And it was just, I think then that same day, somebody carved it on a locker in the gym. And,
That was a Sharpie.
yeah.
I was in that gym class.
Yeah. And, yeah.
But
And
like, where's that come from?
and I'm pretty sure we both know who it is too.
Yeah. Why? Just to kind of be funny?
A
Where
lot
do you
of
think it came? Like, where, again, not the person, but where do you think that came from?
uneducated, that, and I think the home life too,
Yeah.
how they're raised. Because, like I said, first time I was on this podcast, I didn't want to say my true beliefs on the Black Lives Matter
Yeah.
movement because of the fact I said this to Jordan straight up. He was the only person I've ever said this to. I said I was afraid of what my family and my group of friends that I hung out with that much would think of me if
Yeah.
I said how I truly felt.
Right. It'd just be easier.
So I said what I had been hearing.
And that bothered you. That's why you wanted to come back
That's why I
on.
wanted to come back on because
That's not
now-
authentic.
Yes, and I just, it bothered me. I brought myself to I re-listened to it and I brought myself to tears listening to myself talk because I knew that's not what I meant.
Right.
And that's not how I felt when I said it either. And I mean, my family's always raised me to say like what I believed in and everything. And I didn't even do that in that instance. I just said because I was afraid. I don't admit that I'm scared that often, but I was afraid
Right.
of what they would think of me or how I would be perceived if I said, well, I do support it and I do think, all this stuff that's going on is wrong.
Right.
And that's all I would have had to say.
Yeah.
But I was afraid to say it because I didn't want to. I honestly just did not want to be judged or criticized by my friends and family.
Yeah.
That's
Because,
crazy. And Jordan, you got something to say, I can
Yep.
tell. That's good.
I know, because what Trent's talking about is it's crazy. Because standing up to it, you'll be drowned in
Hate.
hate. Yeah, that's the only way you could put it. You'll be drowned in hate, and you'll have a target on your back for the rest of your time.
High school career, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the angry black dude.
Exactly, because you stood up for what you believe in, and you know what's right, and it's just it takes a bigger person to have an open ear than just be
Right.
closed-minded.
Take your hat off.
You do.
Yeah, see? All right? But even that, right? That you could be picked on for that, right?
Exactly.
Right? But if somebody's wearing got the flow going, right?
Mullet.
Yeah.
Got the flow.
Mullets are cool, but like.
No, but like somebody's got a rat tail or a flow or
Yeah.
a white look, right? It's funny, it's comical, it's cool. Let me play with it.
That's what
Jordan rocks that out. You're like, oh, dude, hood look,
Nobody
right?
else
Or
has got
right?
that.
Or kind of. Is that true?
Yeah, it's
I mean, the hair's a thing.
first time
You can't do hair like the flow over here. So it's the flow though, not the mullet, right? It's a flow.
Like, what are you talking about? Like,
A mullet, yeah, flow.
no, I would just call it a mullet. I think. I don't know. Everyone say
That's
flow.
what.
I'm going with the flow.
All right.
I had a rockin' mullet, you guys. 2 lines on the left side.
Did you actually?
Absolutely. I'm left-handed, man. 2 lines on the left side, spike, and then it curls up in the back. So big out.
You tried a racing.
We need a
story?
picture.
No, I just had 2 like shaved lines,
Yeah.
right? And then I had a spiked hair, just spiked, not, and then just a big ball down. It was cool back then.
was
If you
like-
could take the hair and put it in your mouth and like chew on it in school, kind of like you probably do, like play with it and chew. Yeah, like you kind of stretch it out. Like that was the cool. If you could bring it from here and then like put it in your mouth during class, it was solid. And then I'm like a basketball dude. Cover of the West Bend News Sports section. Me going in for a bucket, you can see the lines perfectly. I still remember I got that paper. I'm like, oh yeah.
Were you wearing like?
Look at that. Like, look at that.
High cut shorts too, or no?
We were the first class to have the Chris Webber low shorts. Even again, subtle racist, if you would, like, oh, what do you guys think you are, right? Yeah. Well, no, we're just wearing low shorts. So we were the first class to have them, which we thought was delightful. It was awesome.
It's just kind of funny though, because now
You bring the shorts back. The short
high
shorts.
shorts.
A little bit. That never took off
In
totally.
college?
I think if you think in college it's more.
It's
really
a lot,
popular.
yeah, and a lot of high school,
Yeah.
like a lot of high school basketball players, like Jalen Green, Josh
Yeah.
Christopher. I mean, they're in college now in the G League, but those dudes, they were rolling their shorts.
Yeah, I think those dudes were, but I just don't think it kind of like it hasn't come all the way through like
It's-
elementary school. It was just
give
like
it-
that little segment.
Give it, I say 3 years. 'Cause
I don't
I've
think so.
never liked to have.
Yeah,
I-
below the knees.
I like them.
Yeah, I think here's going to be good, but I don't know if we go higher.
I mean,
You work out those legs, you want to show them off.
yeah. I'd give it like
The shorts I'm wearing right now are like kind of.
Stand up. Man.
Yeah, that's a nice
yeah,
cut.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's high for me. That's a little high.
I like those.
I wear dad shorts. I don't do the white sock Birkenstock thing, but everybody's got their own look, I guess.
If I were to wear Birkenstocks with no shoes at school, I mean with no socks, people be like, "Oh, hold on, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
You have to wear socks.
I just wouldn't wear Birkenstocks. I just wouldn't wear
I don't know,
Birkenstocks.
Birks aren't bad.
I like them on girls, guys.
I don't know. I don't.
It's okay. I'm just saying I'm 47.
You're the type of dude to wear like the sandals, like the full sandals, like with like the strap in the back.
Dad sandals.
I'm like 2 years, maybe 6 months away from like the straight New Balances, I think.
No.
Like the white New Balances with grass stains. I'm just gonna go all dad mode.
Yeah, you have to get 3 pairs.
Yep. Cargo shorts for sure. Yep, cargo
Sunglasses up
shorts.
here.
What?
Sunglasses up here.
Yep. Oakley's for sure. Yep, Oakley's, and then probably like, what's that like? Just like a golf hat.
Yep.
Yeah, the dad look.
Branded Hanes
Yeah.
socks.
And polo shirt for sure too, right?
You know?
Probably not tucked in.
Solid.
Tucked in for church, untucked for
Grilling out.
pleasure, for grilling out. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, okay, that's crazy. All right, so what else? What did we hit on that you guys wanted to hit on?
Oh, there's something else.
No, it's okay.
No, there was. I think honestly, most of the stuff I said is just kind of. I wanted.
So if you could change anybody, there's somebody listening that let's say was unaware or racist or subtle racist, and they're watching it and they're like, I gotta do better.
Yeah.
I gotta do better, right? And then you can't have the pendulum swing too far. Oh, Trenton, hey, Jordan. Like we haven't been friends in 10 years. Like I don't think we're gonna be friends.
Yeah.
But is there stuff people can do tomorrow? Like they're watching it right now and they're like, what do you want me to do, man?
Want me to start off?
Yeah. Go ahead.
First step does start with you. So, educate yourself, man. Open your mind up to new things,
Is there any, like, have you seen the movie The Help?
Yeah.
Nah.
Your grandma probably made you watch it.
No, it's just, I think it was on BET or something one day.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Good movie.
Such a good
So it's about, like, that should be mandatory watching. Like, I talk about awareness and education. So it's called The Help. And it was a book that was written in the 60s, right during this, when all the Martin Luther King stuff was happening. And it was written by maids in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah.
It's a funny movie,
Yeah.
but it hits hard.
Yeah.
Again, way beyond subtle, but they thought it was subtle.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I just have a black maid, it's no big deal, but they can't use my bathroom,
Yeah.
right? Can't sit with me. I mean, there was a whole bunch of stuff. It's called The Help. It's a great movie. But is there stuff out there that, again, you say get educated, that person's watching like, what?
There's a movie I watched a few weeks back called A Night in Miami. It's based off a screenplay, and they made it into a movie, and it's about Malcolm X,
Jim Brown.
Look it up.
Jim Brown?
And then yep, Jim Brown.
I can
And,
do this. I got you. Jim Brown.
You're good.
And then the singer that made Change is gonna come.
Look that up.
Change?
No, it's the song. I know the lyrics. I don't know.
Marvin
what
Gaye or something?
No, it was a
It was a woman. All right.
Was it
Aretha Franklin?
Aretha Franklin? That's
No.
what I was thinking.
Well, you know.
Look up Change is gonna come. It's a
We'll just
song.
find the movie. What's the
No,
movie?
it's a song.
The movie is called
All right, well, you don't realize it, but welcome back. We had a little technical difficulties, so Holden got off the grid for 5 minutes. We said a bunch of wonderful things about Holden in the last 5 minutes.
You can say them again if you want.
No, too late.
We'll
That's
go
like
back.
the second he realized there was audio difficulties. Like we gave him like huge props, and he's like, hold on. Nothing got recorded. So I don't know what was going on there. To kind of recap, we don't exactly know where the video left off. One night in Miami, Jordan said it's a great way to give awareness. It's got an amazing start. It's 2 hours. Talks a lot about these issues back in the day, which is still happening today. We led a little bit, just to recap what you missed. Trent was saying it all starts with one person. And that one person could be Holden, who does a great job about speaking the truth, as you would say, but giving people wisdom. We talked about Jordan just saying, hey, just be real with me. Approach, and I said how intimidating he is when he wears the big hoodie and he's like, yeah, what up? Right? Like, and he knows that. I said he's got some swag, but be real with him. Just lead with love. And then we kind of were going with the path I think of, which was my recommendation. If somebody's out there looking, hey, how do I make that change? That's where we're going with. How do you make that change? If you're the person going, I need to be more aware, but what's my steps? One thing you can do when you're with a group of people and that little stuff comes up, and again, it's not, I hate black people, let's, put them on a noose, KKK style. Like, that's not how this works in 2021, but it's still there. Like, we've made strides, we're not there yet, but it starts with the one person in the group that says, hey, that's not right, man. You would never say that in front of Jordan, and even if you would say that, either way, it's not right. I don't appreciate that. I know Jordan Trent wouldn't. Like, can we just get past that? Like, for real, are you doing that right now? That changes every conversation. That changes that person's mind. That might change him forever. It might change him for a second, but that's what's needed. That starts the domino of going, so nobody has to go through what you guys go through daily.
Yeah.
It does start with you, man. Like, if you see it, stand up to it. Because being silent hurts it more than you think.
I think that might actually be worse than being the vocal person.
Exactly.
As you guys said, the vocal person is just maybe uneducated or unaware, but the people that know better,
They're always quiet. And
but you know better, and that probably hurts worse than the guy saying it or girl saying it.
Because, I mean, if it's just me and Trent standing up to everyone, it's hard. So,
And you Trent, Trent and Jordan and Holden doesn't help much either. Sorry, no
So-
offense, really, nothing personal.
I try my best.
Nothing personal, nothing personal.
So like, if just stand up with us, man.
No matter what it is.
Means the world.
Yeah.
Exactly, because like I said before the recording cut out, Holden's the type of dude. He, like I said, I'm black, he's white. I'm gonna call it how it is. He called me out on racism, political things. He shut me up because, like I said, I was uneducated, and now look where I am. More educated than I was before. Perception is different, but like I said, guys like him, it's the start of something big, especially just in the district itself. I mean, he calls people out on it all the time. He's not afraid to speak his mind. That's something that is going to take just not only like him far in life, but it's going to take this whole situation that we're here talking about today. It's going to help resolve it one day. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be totally fine, but it's going to make it better. It's going to resolve a lot of the issues that play a part in racism.
Right.
And when you get a person who is white and sticks up for guys like me and Jordan, it's going to take this entire situation a long way. And like I said, I don't care what people have to say about him, about what he says, what he does. I mean, at lunch when everybody's yelling at him when he's standing up talking about stuff.
Like that he hates the grilled cheese or something. This is the world's worst grilled cheese, seriously. But I know what you're saying, and I'm a spiritual guy. I say that a lot of my pods. I'm a God guy. Something I have only recently understood. If you want to change the world, you actually have to work smaller. That's the craziest thing. It's so hard to comprehend for a guy like me that wants to change the world in a big, bold, powerful way, right? But it's Mother Teresa said that. It's the smallest things. And everything you do has this ripple effect that we do not understand.
Yep.
So if you want to change the world, just drop a pebble and let them ripples work. And every time you do that, understand the ripples go that way. And every time you, if you can go with me, you don't drop the pebble, the ripples work the other way.
Yep.
Right? The waves keep crashing. So I think that's a beautiful way to wrap this up. Unless you guys got something else to say.
Yeah, like I said, I appreciate you having us back on though.
Oh,
'cause it
man.
really-
I know you guys are going to change the world, and I was thinking as you guys were talking, which I should just be listening, but do you start a committee? Do you make posters? Do you have a parade, right? And again, I think it's a no. I think it's the littlest things. Before I totally wrapped it up, this Pod 27, I hope is always known not just for racism, it's how you treat others, period. Because you could have a perception about the football guys, right, quote unquote. You could have a perception about women, right? That doesn't get talked about enough. About people that are disabled mentally, right? God just didn't give them a brain that worked right. That's not their fault. The band kids, the kids that can't play sports because God didn't make them 220, 230, fast and dirty with swag, right? Like God didn't make me that way. My hands don't work together. My feet don't work together. And that starts at an early age, right? Like, you can't play kickball. Yeah, God didn't make me play kickball, but I'll whoop your butt in math, right? So it's for everybody. Just more love. It's not like more love in this world. That sounds that sounds so like weak. But it's true. Like, just go love people. We had Mr. Last, Mr. Peterson in there. And I think them guys just serve with love. Like, whoever rolls into their room. There's not this, well, you're that way, you're this way, you don't play football, you do play football. They just get the same love. And I know a lot of other teachers do that too. Them are just the two people we had on recently. So if anything you get out of this, just go help people, man. I know you guys are going to go great places. I thank you so much for you guys coming on. Best of luck to you. You guys are all-time Indians in my book. So, we should do that real quick. Time out. We're not done yet. Indians. Offensive, not offensive.
I don't think
Yeah. Here we go. Oh, man, this is like a timeout, like bonus content.
All right.
Bonus. Yeah, we're bonus round. Dang, I didn't see that going that way. Jordan's like, I'm loving this. Bonus round.
I'll give my personal opinion. Okay.
Be careful.
I know. So for our school, our town was founded by a Native American, Chief Kewaskum. Now, I know that there have been people from the town that have talked to Chief Kewaskum's family,
Right.
and talked about, do you want to change the name of the school? And they have said no.
Right.
Because exactly. So me personally, I feel like if we would get rid of the Indians logo or the Indians mascot, I think that would be taking away the remembrance and I don't know how to say it, like memorialization.
But realize he didn't. I mean, again, what do you think, Jordan? I'll give you my perspective last.
Yeah.
Then we can recircle.
Yeah.
So, I don't really know about it because, like, it's one of those things because, like, Kewaskum today, you don't see one Native American.
Yeah, that's facts.
And that's like, but the history of it is what's really important.
But what is the history of it?
From what I know, it was founded by a Native American.
It wasn't.
See it as the
That's why I don't really want to speak on it. 'Cause
Right.
I'm uneducated on it.
No, see, like, so you got to read the book, The History of Kewaskum, right? So Chief Kewaskum, he liked the fire water. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. He could be to his family watching or anybody else, but he liked the fire water. You know what that means?
Yes.
What do you think fire water means?
Alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And he wasn't this supreme founder, patriarch, if you will, which means leader of I believe that would be the Potawatomi tribe. That's not the factual evidence. And it was named after him, but no one actually really knows why. And just because again, you got to be careful about a family signing off on it, right? Maybe they're like Trenton and they just didn't want the drama that day, right? So what if they said they weren't ready for it? Then what? Then they're on the news, then they're the face of it. Maybe for them it was just easier being like, yeah, and maybe they do not care. But my opinion, and again, not that mine has a lot of weight, I think it should be changed. I'm an Indian. I've been Indian for 47 years. I brought up people, and they lose their minds. Once an Indian, always an Indian? So what in the hell does that mean? That means like, you like all the, and it's like the people that have said that to me, I went to high school with a lot of those people. You weren't an Indian then. I mean, you weren't like drinking all the Kool-Aid of Mr. Kewaskum, Mrs. Kewaskum then. I'm not saying you needed to be. Yeah. It's just a mascot. Yeah. I mean, if it offends some people, and again, this isn't the snowflake culture, if it offends one person, change it. I'm just saying it is signifying that a mascot is a Native American, is an Indian. You know, the term Indian to a lot of people is offensive because of the way they were treated. Yeah. I mean, slavery has gotten, rightfully so, a tremendous amount, of awareness, if you will, or education. Yeah. The story of the Native Americans, the Sioux, the Lakotas, signing documents, signing treaties, like, yeah, it's all good, only to be shot up. Their entire family, their entire children. Forced on land that they didn't understand what they were actually getting into these little communities where they had to say, forever the country will take care of you. Oh, cool. Well, that didn't happen. Yeah. And it shouldn't have happened anyway. So again, to me, why not find something that you want to know what I like? I like the Eagles. Because I think there's no Eagles in the area. It's a very popular mascot, but there's no Eagles in the area. We have them in the Kettle Moraine, and we can still do the feather thing. I think we can still do Native American culture and murals. Again, once an Indian, always an Indian. We can have awareness. We can bring murals into our school. We can bring back Chief Kewaskum. We've hid, since I went to school there and you went to school there, everything about the Indians has been hidden. Okay, think about a lot of things. Do we say 1, 2, 3 Indians? We say 1, 2, 3 Kewaskum. It's the little things. Yeah. You say Kewaskum. Nobody says 1, 2, 3 Indians.
Not anymore, no. Because
Right, so you don't, so think about this. We don't say 1, 2, 3 Indians.
Indians are on
No sweatshirts, no gear, no merch, nothing in our school says Indians.
Yeah.
But we're the Indians. Are we? Are we even the Indians anymore? Aren't we a cave with a swoosh? Yeah. We don't even put the spearhead because we're so concerned. No. So if everything's okay, with being an Indian, if you're okay with it, and the family's okay with it.
Why isn't it plastered on everything?
Yeah.
Anywhere. Not everywhere. Anywhere. Why isn't Chief Kewaskum then out of wood that was in our school historically for 25 years? Why'd that get slid out? What happened to that? Big wooden Kewaskum, Chief Kewaskum. There's a huge...
It's in the corner of the library.
Oh, corner of the library.
Yeah,
Weird.
That big mural, or the big painting of them.
Yeah.
That's still in the gym. I know I got taken
down. Right, got taken down, put back up. Did it say Indian on it anywhere? Kewaskum Indians? Welcome to Kewaskum Indians?
No.
Welcome to Indian territory? Say that anywhere? No. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Right? Remember we had big Kewaskum Indians, and then we remodeled, and that went away? Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's all the little things, boys.
Yeah, because, I mean, even if, now I think about it, when we break down for football, I don't even remember what we said. I know in middle school, gridiron, I remember the chants that we would do, and we said Indians, and the chant was who are we? And we said Indians, and this is where we're from, K-Town, and this is what's the word, pride.
They still say that.
They do?
Yep.
Well, I guess I haven't been to a gridiron game in a little bit, so.
You're not missing much.
Okay.
Shout out. I mean, it's phenomenal to all you gridiron boys watching.
Keep pushing.
But,
yeah, 3 yards on a 3 yard. Yeah. 31. Run a trap to the left, run a trap to the right, run a sweep every 12 plays. It's not that exciting.
Sometimes it works.
It's just not that exciting as a parent.
But no, I mean, now that you say it, that's a great point because I mean, I know something new now.
Yeah.
I have a different perception on it now.
And now what do you think?
I agree with the change now.
Right. And I'm not talking here, and again, we have these debates, I'm not looking to change people's opinions. I'm just trying to educate them to allow you to make your own opinion. Right? So I'm just allowing you to make your own opinion, to think differently. To me, and again, I'm not vocal enough to make the change to Indians. Maybe I should be. I put it on Facebook once. I left it up for about an hour. It blew up. I took it down. I'm like, I don't need this or want this.
Yeah.
And that was like right before COVID. And then COVID hit, and I'm like, oh, I got other issues to fry. But yeah, I mean, that Indians thing, I don't know. And I don't know if there's anybody hardly more Indian than me.
Yeah.
Which even see, just saying that sounds stupid. Like, I'm not an Indian.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that sounds dumb.
Yeah.
That's the bonus content.
Yeah. One more thing.
Oh, double, triple bonus content.
One more thing. Just to end it all, I heard something once, and it was called, it was lean into the discomfort. And that's the best thing you can do for yourself, especially racist issues, whatever.
It's a billboard, they just said.
Yeah.
Lean into the discomfort, man. Just because me and Trent black, and you feel uncomfortable, lean into it. We're good people.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Always.
Yeah.
Life's hard. Fall 7, rise 8.
Yeah.
I say that with all my boys. Fall 7, rise 8. That's the boys I coach, not my children.
you hear something you don't agree with, stand up, lean into the discomfort, man.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Thank you for having me.
No, I agree with that too. I will say one last thing too, like Jordan said. One thing that Mr. Lass has always said, and I know when he says this, he means more than just football or track, whatever he's coaching. He always says, be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you have to be comfortable with speaking out and standing up for what you believe in, even though you're going to be uncomfortable doing it.
How do your muscles grow?
By working out and being uncomfortable.
No, how your muscles grow? Like, literally, scientifically, biomedical guy. How do your muscles grow?
Blood flow and proteins.
When you work out, your muscle fibers rip apart.
Yeah, you're tearing your muscles as you're working out, basically. Is what
So
they
you're
say.
tearing your muscles as you work apart.
And it's not always.
You're tearing your muscles when you're ripping your muscles apart. You're leaning into the discomfort. Why? Because when they heal, they're stronger. You know, when your skin opens up and you get a permanent scab, that skin's 100 times stronger.
Yeah.
Huh? That skin's 100 times stronger. That's a God thing, guys. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
I still get the last word. It's my podcast. Peace.